Hi everyone, it's Suzanne. Welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to share with you the Family Reads books we plan on reading in May. The last time that I did a Family Reads TBR and wrap up was in February, and I did middle grade March after that, so I didn't do a Family Reads. I just participated with my daughter in middle grade March, and I will link both the last family TBR / wrap up that I did in February down below, and I will also link the middle grade March wrap up that we did below as well. And if you're wondering what happened to April, well, we had a lot of books that we still had left in our basket that we're finishing up in April, and we've since finished those. So I'm just going to do a quick wrap up on those. The first book I want to talk about is the Vanderbeekers. And this is the Vanderbeekers to the Rescue. And we were reading one of these a month. We're now caught up. So we're done with the Vanderbeekers until a new one is released in the fall. But we absolutely love this series. It is about a biracial family that is living in a brownstone in Harlem. And there's 5 children and their parents live on the basement apartment. And I mention this because one of the things I love about this book is they're really good friends with the neighbors that live upstairs, as well as the landlord that lives in the top floor, as well as many characters in the neighborhood. It is usually, it's always a feel-good book, and the kids are always trying to save something or solve some mystery, and they all work together. In this one, the Vanderbeekers' mom has a bakery that she runs out of the brownstone, and she's chosen for a magazine article, and she's very excited. In the meantime, before the photographer comes, an inspector comes. The kids let the inspector in the brownstone while their mom is not home, and it's a disaster. They have many pets running about, and the kids decide that they're going to fix the brownstone up and get the inspector back out there, as well as get the place ready for the photographer, and all these things, and not tell their mom. And it's just from one sort of catastrophe to another. And in the middle of this, someone's dropping off animals on their back step. So as they're trying to get rid of the animals for the inspector, they end up getting more and more animals showing up on their back step. Anyway, it's a lot of fun, and it's always a feel-good every time. We also finished Roald Dahl's James and the Giant Peach. And my daughter, this is a really cute read. I have to say it's not one of my favorite books, but we are doing one Roald Dahl book a month until we finish the collection that we have. And this was the one for that month. My daughter loved it, and she loved the movie as well. She did admit it wasn't one of her favorites, but she still really enjoyed it, so I'm glad we read it. Now, the last 3 were left over. We did a huge selection for Black History Month. You can see that video below if you're interested. This is what we have left. I think there was another one, 1 or 2 maybe, in the middle grade March as well, my memory. But I finished these in April after middle grade March was finished, so I wanted to make sure that I noted them, because if you haven't heard of these Who HQ series, we really love these. And we read one about Michelle Obama and Coretta Scott King. And yeah, I love these. We learned a lot. I find them very accessible for children too. So you can give them a lot of information, but it is delivered in such a way that I don't find my daughters getting bored from them. I do break it up. I really enjoyed these. I think we read a few more for Women in History Month as well. And the final one from Black History Month was One Crazy Summer by Rita Williams-Garcia. This is a middle grade book, and we listened to this one on audio, which I highly recommend. I love this story. So this is about 3 young girls who travel to Oakland in California to visit their mom for a summer. They live with their father and grandmother in New York. And I love the relationship with the girls, and just listening to the way they talk to each other. It was so much fun. And this was really during a tumultuous time in history, and there's a lot of references to the Black Panther. This book was based in 1968, and I really enjoyed seeing sort of like a living example of that period of time in history, and getting to know a little bit more about what some of the Black Panthers did, as opposed to the big news items that I was familiar with for my entire life. And Rita Williams-Garcia is an amazing author. I definitely want to read more of her books and look forward to those sometime in the next year. I have a couple already on a list to read. All right, we're going to move on to the books we plan to read in May. And I think the camera is in the same spot. I just smacked at getting the next deck of books. I have to tell you, I don't know if you notice, I'm in a different space here, a little bit of a different space. I'm turning my office into a library. And so I'm in the middle of that, which I'm so excited about. And I love these shelves I have finished arranging, which are making me really happy. The reason I reference that though, I really need to figure out something like a little table to have beside me while I'm filming this, because the books are dropping. It's been an issue already and I need a solution. So I'm going to figure that out. I'll show you the chapter books first. And this one is the first book in the Kingdom of Renly series. And this is a book my daughter, I'm reading it to her to see if she's interested. And then hopefully she will start reading these on her own as well. So she's almost ready for these books in terms of her reading level. This is about a Prince Lucas. And in the first book, we meet him and the seamstress's daughter, Clara. And when the book opens, his father doesn't want him to play with any of the other children because they're not royals. But eventually he convinces his dad to let him play with Clara. Well, I think the queen convinces him. In any case, they're off to solve a mystery and it takes them all over the Kingdom of Renly. And it's really cute. And we have quite a few of these. So cross your fingers that my daughter likes them as much as I think she's going to. Then we have Zoe and Sassafras, and this is book 2 and 3, and this is a series, and I heard about these from Jessica at the Waldock Way, and I'm really grateful because my daughter was so excited when I read her the first one. She didn't want me to stop. It was a read all the way through for that one. This little girl finds out that there's magical animals, and her mother has been helping them her entire life, meaning the mother's entire life. And it turns out that Zoe can also see these magical animals, and she gets to help her mother to bring them back to health. If they have health issues, they show up. And she's a little scientist, so it's definitely an example of a little girl doing scientific experiments and studying science. And she has her little goggles that she puts on that help her think. And her cat is adorable. Anyway, my daughter loves these. So, and this is a really great kind of like starter for chapter books in terms of reading as well. Okay, well, maybe not a starter. I think these are like the second step. I would consider these like step 2 in chapter books because I have some other ones that are far easier. And I definitely have noticed that the more you can keep their confidence up when reading, the better. So I'm going to hold off. I'm just going to read these to her. And her birthday's coming up, or grading. So she might get a set of these since she loves them so much. And she'll be reading them on her own next year. Also in May, we're going to read the second Paddington book, more about Paddington. We have a collection she got for Christmas. And she asked me if I would read these with her. So we read the first one last month. And my daughter has listened to these over and over on audiobook, but she loves these. And I have to say, I had never read Paddington Bear in my entire life. I don't know how that happened, but I hadn't. And the first one was so enjoyable. It felt so good. Like, it was just like a big cozy hug. So if you're looking for a pick-me-up, definitely check out the Paddington Bear. They're a quick little read. But again, nice pick-me-up, they're feel-good, and you get to chuckle a lot because Paddington has a knack for getting in trouble. Now, my daughter did say these were her favorite books. They have since been relegated to the number 2 spot on her favorite list right now. What's it called? Oh, no. Right now, Dragons of Fire, I hope I have that title right, is her favorite series. She's listening to those on audio and absolutely love them and begged me to listen to them or to read them so she can talk to me about them. So I'm in the middle of the first one and I am enjoying it. I haven't had a chance to really focus on it that much, but I'm looking forward to it. I'll let you know when I get there. Again, this isn't the second Paddington book. And as you see, it's part of a series that you put together. She got for Christmas. It was one of the books in her huge Christmas book haul. I'll actually link that below too in case you want to have a look at all those books. It's just, if you love books and you love hauls, you'll like that regardless if it's, you know, titled Christmas or not. Anyway, when you put all the books together, it shows the picture of Paddington. So I really love when they do that with hardcover and softcover books. It's a lot of fun. Then we have this little book, The Magical Animal Adoption Agency, and this is number 1 of the series, and this is called Clovers Luck, and this is about a little girl. We're 1/4 of the way through, so this little girl has gone to work for the summer in a secret from the adults in her life and the town that she lives in. This is an adoption agency for magical animals, and of course, my daughter loves it, and I'm enjoying this read as well. We're only 1/4 of the way through, so I don't want to say I absolutely love it because I'm not sure. But so far, it's an enjoyable read, and my daughter's excited to read it. And this month's Roald Dahl book is Going Solo. I actually have no idea what this is about, so I'll read you the back quickly. A life is made up of a great number of small incidents and a small number of great ones. I will let you know how that goes, because I have never read it and I have never heard of it. We are also finishing off The Wild Robot Escapes, and this is by Peter Brown, and we read the first one of this sometime in the last year, and my daughter absolutely loved it, and so did I. I was surprised. I thought it might be kind of boring for me. It was about a robot that ended up being abandoned and washed up. Abandoned, that's hilarious. The robot ended up being washed up on shore of an island, and the robot learns to live on the island, learns to talk to all the animals, ends up becoming a mother for a baby goose. And I thought it would be very much for younger children, that I probably wouldn't enjoy it as much as my daughter, but I enjoyed every minute of it. And so of course we bought the second one, and this is The Wild Robot Escapes. And he ended up being taken back to the factory. And when this opens up, he is on a farm. And he's going to be kind of the working robot on the farm. And we will see how this goes. I'll let you know. Now, the last book is one that I really wanted to read. So I have wanted to read since I saw this again, was reminded that I had this in my middle grade book haul. I can't wait to read this one. And I don't know if my daughter's that excited to read this one, but I've read quite a few pages and I love the way that it's written. It's very punchy, so I think she'll enjoy it. I asked her if we could include this so that we could read it as our nighttime read. And if it doesn't keep her attention, I think it will. I'm definitely going to read it on my own. But I would like to read it with her because it sounds really adorable. I'm going to read you the back because I love the description. Beyond these doors, the world of your dreams, a magical web of floors lost in the seams. Once invited, you must take care, lest you vanish between the here and there. Welcome to the hotel between. And this is about 2 twins, a girl and a boy, and their parents have disappeared. And one twin, the girl, thinks their father is a lost cause, and the boy thinks there's a mystery to be solved, and that's what he's setting out to do. So this is very magical. Doors in the hotel open up to other countries. There's a magical trolley. All kinds of fun, interesting things happen by the sounds of it. Yeah, I can't wait to read this one. If there's a certain book that you're reading with your family this month, a book or read aloud that you're doing together that you love, or a book that you think we might love based on the selections you've seen us choose monthly, please let us know down below. I would be very grateful. And if you liked the video, hit like, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe to see more videos like this, and I will see you soon with another bookish video.